Right then, the final game of pre-season is upon us, and we are concluding our 2025 pre-season tour at Old Trafford with a final fixture against David De Gea and Fiorentina on Saturday. I think this is going to be the time when United have to play what we're thinking about playing against Arsenal next week. Now, Fiorentina are a mid-table Serie A team. They will bring a different challenge to the physical sort of tests that we found on pre-season, but they will be technically proficient and they will be defensively organised, and I think that presents us a bit of an opportunity going into this game. Obviously, the return of David De Gea is going to be all of the headlines, and it'd be nice to give him a bit of a send-off this weekend. Fiorentina, their pre-season has been a bit of a mixed bag, mostly successful for them. They opened proceedings with a 3-0 win against Grosseto, a 2-0 win against Caresse after that, and then a 2-0 loss to Leicester. They do play Forest before they play us. I'm recording this prior to them having played that game. But with very little time before United's opener against Arsenal, this game is United's final opportunity to prepare the squad for what will be a baptism of fire at the start of the new season. Now, Fiorentina will play probably some variant of a 4-2-3-1. It might look like a 4-3-3. It will also have that famous Italian solidity and a little bit of technical flair in the front line. They've got a new manager in Stefano Pioli. He recently rejoined Fiorentina as their new head coach on a 3-year contract after parting ways with Al Nassr. They finished 6th last season in Serie A on 65 points, which has booked them a ticket for UEFA Conference League. And Pioli has been credited with a track record of creating a positive dressing room atmosphere and dealing with strong personalities. The delicate task that he will have is choosing between, or having to deal with, and choosing between Moise, Kean and Edin Dzeko. The football that they play embodies compact defensive structure, technical midfield play, and a good transitional threat. Previously, with Milan, he played a 4-2-3-1 that relied on two powerful central midfielders, very fast, explosive wingers, and a reliable striker. And you can see that they've already kind of got the raw materials to do that in the Fiorentina team. So I expect Fiorentina to look a little bit like what we saw with Milan. They'll be disciplined in their backline and they will be tough on the transition. And I think this is a great opportunity for us to try some of our new football and our new one-touch play in the final third against a team that's going to be difficult to break down. They will probably come and play a bit of a mid-block. They will be very frustrating at times to play against, and we will be forced to try and break them down with intelligent football. The forwards and their attacking midfielders will be quite selective in their pressure. They won't press at all times in all instances. The midfield will sit deeper and try and protect the space in front of the back line. And when they win possession, they will transition quickly. And that was something that we massively struggled with against Everton. So it'd be interesting to see how we deal with Moise, Kean and Dzeko, but also the wingers that they're going to deploy as well. Their reliance on that compact shape has been criticised due to lack of ambition in possession, especially against teams that are going to press aggressively. And their midfield can get overrun if the opposition dominates them physically, which is not something that I expect this United team to do. And certainly the United midfield that I'm going to be selecting ahead of this game with an eye on the game next week against Arsenal. In terms of my starting 11, I think Onana has to play if he's going to feature against Arsenal. If he's not going to feature against Arsenal, Tom Heaton has to play because it's not even close between him and Bayern, in my opinion. I would go with a back three of Yoro, De Ligt and Mazraoui. The reason for Mazraoui is that he's not played in pre-season. If he's going to play in pre-season, this is the game that he needs to play in pre-season. Otherwise, it could be Heaven, it could be Maguire, it could be Luke Shaw. Whoever it is will give us an idea on who we're likely to be fielding next week against Arsenal. That midfield four, Dorgu on the left, Ahmad on the right, Ugarte and Bruno in the deep role. Ugarte being the 6, Bruno being the 8 in that instance. A forward line of Mbeumo, Cunha and Xerxes. Why Xerxes? Well, again, not featured on pre-season. If he's going to be ready for the season, he needs to play. The only change I could expect with that is you might see Bruno in the forward line again. And then it could be Bruno in the false 9. It could be Cunha. It could be Mbeumo. Either way, it's very fluid if it's those three in the forward line. And you might see either Menu or Casemiro alongside Ugarte. And I actually wouldn't mind that. I think Casemiro alongside Ugarte with Bruno pushed up, maybe instead of Mbeumo, who's probably not fully match fit, and give Mbeumo 30 minutes against Arsenal. That might be a more prudent way to play against Arsenal. I actually think that if I was picking the team to play against Arsenal right now, obviously there's over a week left in terms of, and there's been 5 days or so since getting back to Carrington for the likes of Mbeumo. Is that long enough? I'm not 100% sure that is long enough. But if it is long enough, then Mbeumo starts. But I can easily see a case where you go with a little bit more of a pragmatic midfield and Bruno in the forward line with Mbeumo on the bench as an option, rather than trying to just absolutely scorched earth it and put it on Arsenal from the start, because you could get picked off and you could get embarrassed. But either way, that's the lineup that I want to go for. It's getting us ready for Arsenal. It's a couple of players that haven't featured, Mazraoui, Onana and Xerxes. If they're going to feature, that would be a real positive in my opinion, because they need to get ready for the season. United can exploit high pressing opportunities and force turnovers in Fiorentina's half, because I don't think the defence is that technical in possession. And this is a real good opportunity for a team that I think will match up really nice against a high press. Success in the high press will give us chances to try and test David De Gea. And De Gea's distribution could also yield some dividends for us as well if we press it. Now, we all know De Gea's strengths and we all know his limitations, I think it's fair to say. Forcing him to make aggressive reflex saves will bring out the best of him. Forcing him to try and play will bring him out of his comfort zone a little bit as well. United should want to try and dominate the ball and dominate midfield. And if you can control that, the wing-backs will find a lot of space and you should be able to overload the back line. And the match winner for United? In this instance, Mbeumo. Against Arsenal, I think Lenioro. But we'll talk about Arsenal after this game. Either way, enjoy the match. If you're going, go and have a good time. Otherwise, I will see you after the game for a review. Take it easy. Laters. Hey, thank you for watching the video. If you are new around these parts, then don't forget to subscribe. My channel is proudly supported by my community on Patreon. If you'd like to get a little bit of extra content, a Discord group, meetups, five-a-side games, weekly podcasts, behind the scenes, and even an occasional bit of transfer news as and when I get it, then for the price of a pint, you can show your appreciation for the content that we make and get some goodies for doing so as well. Check the link in the description or click the button right here. You'll also find all of my socials here too if you want to follow me on any of those platforms. Nice one.